Okay, I said I won't go make another video about Sarah Jakes. But I just see so many comments, people saying that we just jealous of Sarah Jakes. That's why we talk against her. We didn't go to the conference. We don't know her. We just jealous of her. And we just mad. Are we really? Are we all really just jealous of Sarah Jakes? I have always said this here, and I've listened to her preach before, but she doesn't say anything that I haven't heard somebody else say. Actually, a lot of this stuff is just regurgitated. The messages are just regurgitated and put in a different package, but it's the same message. But if the truth be told, if Sarah Jakes was not T.D. Jakes' daughter, she was just a regular person, she would not have, if she was just she want T.D. Jakes' daughter, and actually there's a Sarah Jakes in your church, or just a regular person that ministers the word of God. But because her father is T.D. Jakes, she has this enormous backing. That's all it is. It ain't because what she's saying is so revelatory, or what she's saying is something new, or what she's saying is, just a new revelation. It's not that. Nothing she's saying is not a new revelation. But because she is T.D. Jakes' daughter, she has this big following. That's all it is. And I don't know why we don't. And just because a person says that doesn't mean you hate the person. It just is what it is. You see people, look at people on your job, or people in your community that know certain people. They'll get a position, and you be like, my God, wonder how they got that position. Because they might have knew somebody, or they might be related to somebody, And because they related to somebody in upper management, or that has the power to put them in that position, that's why they in it. There could be other people more qualified, other people more capable and able, but because of who they know, they can get those positions. That's all it is. And you can even say, just like your medicine, you might have a Tylenol brand, an Advil brand, and then a generic brand. But if you read the ingredients, the active ingredient is the same thing in all three. The same active ingredient is in Tylenol, Advil, and the generic brand. But because of the name, people want to pay money for the name Tylenol and not generic. But you're going to get the same effects. So no, we're not jealous of Sarah Jakes at all. Not at all. But because of who she is, who her father is, that's why she has the pull that she has. Because I'm telling you, she doesn't say anything different from anybody I've ever heard. I can say, what was it she said? Strongholds is for strong women. And nobody says nothing. Everybody look at me like I'm crazy. But if Sarah Jakes say strongholds is for strong women, they're going to start throwing money up there on the stage. Ain't that something? It's just like a parent. You can say something to your child, but because it's you that's saying it, they ignore you. Then a total stranger can come say the exact same thing, and they'll believe that total stranger. And it happens in the church all the time. The pastor, the preacher can preach the same message, and you ignore it. You don't want to believe it. But if somebody like Sarah Jakes, or with a big name, come and say the same thing that pastor that's in that storefront says, he ain't got no power. But because this person here, Sarah Jakes, said it, it's got to be true. But girl, the pastor said that same thing last Sunday. What was the difference? Respect of persons. That's the difference. It's just respect of persons. That's all it is. But we think people jealous of somebody. Nobody's jealous of anybody. Because if you will listen to what people say, they're not saying nothing. Not nothing at all. We spend more time saying, preach, Pastor. Say it, honey. Yes. And we're not listening. We're not listening. So nobody's jealous of anybody at all. Because if the person didn't know or had a connection with the person that does the hiring, if the person didn't have a connection with this person, or if your last name won't Jakes, or if your last name won't some famous name, you wouldn't have a bitter attention on you. You just wouldn't. That's how I feel about the whole thing. So it's not that nobody's jealous of anybody. Not at all. Not at all, honey. It's just that because who that person is or their family is makes them have a big audience. But they ain't saying nothing no different than your local pastor probably saying, or your local preacher probably saying. That's all. But anyway, I hope that made sense. All right, y'all have a good night. Toodles.